Table 500. The series where the combos are absurd. Why is this 112 turns? Or the combos are stupid. Not even setting our super polymerization, which, as you can imagine, is the classic Silver 2 play here. From rookies to masters, you'll find something worth laughing at in this series. Taking part in Table 500 is easy. Check the description to find the link for submitting your replay, read through some of the requirements, like don't make it boring. And you too can be featured on the worst showcase of decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Here is Table 500. YouTube! Welcome back to another Table 500! If you want to submit your replays, then you know how that's done. Check the link in the description down below. Let's jump into today's funnies. If you're interested in playing something that isn't just Master Duel, then why not give literally any other video game a chance? This video is sponsored by Eniba. It's a digital marketplace where you can buy basically anything digital online. TLDR, you're just getting things cheaper than you would normally on things like Steam. Here's an example of Dark Souls 2. It's like less than half the price that you would find on Steam just by buying the key code here rather than on Steam. There's the Batman Arkham collection, which is like 80% cheaper. And you'll be able to find this for pretty much everything. There's software like Photoshop, operating systems, antiviruses, subscriptions for things like Netflix, even Tinder Gold, if, you know, some of you probably date. And I'll be very blunt about this. I understand some digital marketplaces, historically, other places, have had controversies surrounding some of their selling methods, but Eniba is a platform in the same way that eBay or Amazon operate. It's a way that it gives sellers to sell their codes online for cheaper. And rather than taking max amount of profits and retail value, a lot of these sellers just want to sell these codes off cheaper, and so their profit margins are narrower, meaning you just get cheaper games. There are sellers on Eniba that have tens of thousands of positive rating, and of course there are safety measures and protocols in place to be able to get your money back if anything should go wrong. There are plenty of guarantees in place to safeguard your payment. So give it a shot with my link in the description down below. Click it right now and get on over to Eniba and purchase anything you want that you've been eyeing up for a while now. Let's get back to today's video. Alright, we got a clean headshot coming up here. We got a Hand of Aniacrafts, which means, you know how that be. Look! Look! Scale. Activate your scale. Reveal 3. Is there a reason we did it in this order? I don't know how you'll play Aniacraft, to be honest with you personally, but seems like a strange way to do this. Okay, all right, so we're gonna get the scales down. We're gonna do some searching, get the field spell up. We're gonna do some more searching. That's a lot of life points you paid there, buddy. Oh, he searched the whale, dude. This would have Doug absolutely creasing right now. All right, look, look, look. Scale and pass. End phase. I think we call this full combo in the industry. I activate my Sengenjin. Pay 2,000. A flip Alazonia. And that is going to add a Izaleon. Summon yourself now. Add a Heart of the Blue Eyes. Activate. Banish a card from your opponent's hand. Well, I mean, that's in the name, right? That's a headshot. Got him. Oh, Mom, get the freaking camera. All right, we have been cock-blocked. And what does that mean? Cybernetic Fusion support. Pay half your life points. Are we playing a self-DK deck? We're going to activate Hieroglyph Lithograph. We're going to take 1,000. Then we're going to activate Perform a Power Popper Up to discard our whole hand and Ash our opponent. And this means that they are not going to take 2,000 damage. Are bots programmed to scoop? If a bot just runs out of... It doesn't FTK you, it just scoops? This is inside the mind of an AI. Unbelievable. Alright, we got Dubai Mocha Labubu. Okay, I don't know what it is, but do you guys, like, love Aniacraft? Is this like, the new... I don't even know. Like, it's just, like, the most, like... I think people just love the idea of just how bizarre a pendulum flip deck is, so people just really gravitated towards it for some reason. Alright, anyway, we're gonna activate Expatipacito. Flip. Tribute summon... Who's this guy? Gap the Divine Soldier. Flips the Mocha. Goes to the end phase. During the end phase, changes to face down. Gap. What is this? This continuous effect? All monsters are changed to attack position. Their battle positions cannot be changed. And this is gaining counters. Why is this gaining counters? Each time a monster is flipped, you can place one EC counter on this card. Does anyone know what EC stands for? It stands for Ania Craft Come. Alright, so you can see there's a little loop going on here. We activate the optional effect of the non-once per turn Mocha to set itself. The gap is a continuous effect that flips a card. And every time we flip a card, the Alazonia here is going to get some counters. We're getting how many counters? Well, we're up to 8 just now. And we are going through this. 9 is the magic number because the field spell has the effect to blow up your opponent for 900 for each counter during the end phase by removing the EC counters. FTK through Droll, by the way, so get absolutely shit on, nerd. Well, we're just passing. Not even setting our super polymerization, which, as you can imagine, is the classic Silver 2 play here. Our opponent is normal summoning Ash Blossom. Oh, that wouldn't fly with me, dude. If you did this to me in real life, we're exchanging hands. Honestly, optimal play or not, this is like correct because of the disrespect your opponent enacted on you by attacking with a 0 Ash. Okay, they're slightly getting bigger. Wow, the Ash is gonna live here. Okay, alright. Can we boost her up any further? What was the plan with this deck building? I think the idea is we make a really big Arise Heart. Alright, we're summoning Big Timiton here. And we're slowly building up the flexing muscles of Ash Blossom. She is now 1,000 years old. Alright, normal summon a Dragunity Senatus, discarding a card, getting hit with the Infinite Impermanence. Most consistent Dragunity deck, as you can see here. Me when I don't open Ravine, am I right, guys? Battle phase, punch the Ash, gain the attack, drop the attack to protect, back down to 1,000, pass turn. Alright, we're just having a classic prison fight here. Yeah, I don't think the Super Poly target's for Dragunity, huh? Alright, okay, punch over this, gain some more damage. 50, that's a big Ash, she's 1,500 years old now. Alright, draw a card though, normal summon Atlas, set a card. Guardian effect. Oh, Tooth. He doesn't know how the card works. He rammed into it twice, and he only just now realized it gains 500 during the... Alright. Smartest Dragunity player. No, don't do it! 25! And Timiton for game. This was a Silver 2 game. This is what they're doing in Silver 2. I play Masochist sometimes, and I get, like, returning branded players, and this is the shit that they throw down in Silver. Alright, we got Cool Tune here. We're going second in Platinum 5. Ignites. Only fun things have ever happened from Ignites. Why are we activating Ash? Hello? They're not even once per turn. You absolute foolish amphibian. They're not once per turn. You just Ash the danger. Oh my god. Alright, normal summon Sublimation Knight. Get the Squeaker. Special summon. Go into Isolda. Alright. Add a card. Add a danger. Activate it. Send to... This is where you're supposed to Ash, by the way. Alright. Get the Bamboo Sword. Sword. For this, tribute, add an equip card. We're getting Durandal. Activate Durandal. Get a Fire Warrior. That's an Ignis. Pop the baby. Pelum. Into Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. Send. Pop. Add Astrograph. It's only been 10 years. Special summon. Brodrew and added. Scale. Pop the baby. Get a Renaud. And special summon... How did you even special summon that? Oh, Renaud special control Fire Warrior. And the Draco Phoenix specials when it's destroyed from your extra deck or something. Renaud adds back an equip card from the graveyard. And we're adding Telekinetic Vibration Device or whatever it's called. That's not what that is. I'm thinking of something else. Anyway, here's Gale Dogra into Gigantic Sprite, which we're not using yet. But we're going to go into Reaper-Docus. Reaper-Docus changed the attribute of Gale Dogra into a Psychic. There's a classic combo here. The Telekinetic Charging Device only equips onto a Psychic. You do not have to pay life points for Psychic monsters. Gale Dogra pays 3,000 life points to send a monster from the extra deck to the graveyard. But now it's free because of the telekinetic charging device. We're going to send the pendulum cards from the extra deck to the graveyard. That's interesting. Never seen someone do this before. Uh-huh. Now we're sending more here. There's Herald. Is it Habakiri? Oh, it's Cyber Sage. It's basically Habakiri if you squint hard enough. There's a Cyframe Omega, which can use the non-once per turn grave effect to recycle a card in your graveyard. And then we're going to resend the Herald with the Gale Dogra. We're going to send Muddy Mud Dragon. And double Cyberse Arrival, triple Cyberse Arrival Ignister, Firewall Singularity, 2 of them, a Cyframe Omega. Omega's going to recycle the Pendulum cards now? What is he doing? So we're going to keep recycling the Omega and all of the Pendulum cards we put in the graveyard. Now we're going to go into Signet Ritual. Ritual summoning using the Blue Eyes White Dragon into the Sage. The Sage is going to banish a Light and a Dark here. That is... That's a big ritual summon into the Cyberse Clock Dragon. Yup, Clock, when this card is fusion summoned, send cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of Link monster ratings or whatever used for its summon, multiplied by whatever, which is basically going to mill the entire deck. 0 cards remaining in the deck here. We're going to use Medora to put back 3 cards. Activate Soul Servant. That's going to banish to draw the 3 cards. We're going to Zephyr, add back the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then chain Snow here. Snow is going to banish a bunch of cards. Chain the Winged Karibo level 9, which you can only activate as Chain Link 3 or higher to special summon. Then we're going to chain the Snow again. So we want as many cards banished as possible, it looks like, or at least specific cards here. Here's the Winged Karibo. Alright, the Zephyr is going to add back the Vanilla Blue Eyes back to our hand here. And then we're going to banish the Light in the Dark for Chaos Emperor Dragon. And because we control an envoy of the beginning or end here, we can target 2 banished cards and add them to our hands here. We're going to add back Monster Reborn and the Cursed Bamboo Sword. So what is banishing cards? I think it's the Winged Karibo. Spells that have been activated are banished instead of being sent to the graveyard. So now we get to have this infinite loop with the Primal Seed. So the Seed adds back a banished card and itself. And then because this is on the field, the Winged Karibo, this Primal Seed goes to the banished instead of the what's it called? So we're adding Heavy Storm and Dark Hole. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Okay. Primal Seed again here for another Seed and a Trap card. Dimension Magic. Okay. And all-out attacks. I see what you're doing. I don't know if I see what you're doing, to be honest with you. And then Dimension Guardian. What are you doing? What are you doing? Add back the Seed and the Give and Take. We are setting up for a combo. We're going to Dark Hole ourselves. We're going to Heavy Storm ourselves. Okay, only 9 cards in hand, 0 in deck. Monster Reborn, target Dark Magician Girl. Uh-huh. Set 5 pass. Classic. This is the board that Yugi Boomers were looking for. All right, draw phase. All out attacks. If a monster is special while this card is face up on the field, change it to attack position. It must attack if abled. Gonna activate Imperm. Yeah, that's gonna get him. Imperm the Dark Magician Girl. Uh-huh. We're gonna activate Give and Take. Special a monster from your graveyard to your opponent's side of the field in defense and increase the level of one monster you control by the level of the special summon monster. We're gonna give the opponent the Clock Dragon and then chain Dimension Sphinx. Target a face-up attack position monster you control once per battle. During the battle, if this attacks with opponents with a higher attack, inflict damage equal to the equal of the difference. Hold. Chain Dimension Guardian. Target a face-up attack position monster. If it would be destroyed, the monster leaves the field. Destroy this card and it can be destroyed by battle. Okay, yup, Clock. In the fence mode, all out attacks, puts it in attack mode. Dimension Mirage, target the Clock Dragon. Standby. Main phase 1 is skipped because of the battle, the frickin', what is it called? The Bamboo Burning Sword or something. Forced to go into the battle phase because of the all out attacks. Enter the battle phase. This triggers, we deal 500. At the end of the damage step, when it attacks a monster with a higher attack, inflict damage, it must attack again. By banishing a card. This is the cruelest FTK ever. You have to force your opponent to attack you multiple times. Why are you hitting yourself? 5 to 5. Last one. We go again. Final blow. Reflect the damage. Explode yourself. Does the chain finish? It's not a draw. Okay, all right. I thought that was maybe going to be a draw there, but I guess that's not how the ruling works. Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever Dark Magician of Dimension. Why are you hitting yourself? FTK. That's ridiculous. No, dude, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this. This is 112 turns. Why is this 112 turns? Morphtronic Telephone is gonna loop. Okay, so if you don't know what telephone FTK... FTK, it's 112 turns! What do you think the word first means? Okay, if you don't know what telephone does, it is a non-hard once per turn effect to summon a Morphtronic from your graveyard with a level equal to or lower than the Morphtronic in your graveyard by rolling a dice. And because they're level 1, they always hit each other. So you bring back one of them, use the other as a link material, and then the other one brings back the one you just used as a link material, and then you just keep making link ones and climbing. So you're always going +1 in bodies, provided that your extra deck can facilitate it, which, I mean, can we? We're looking for very specific cards here. I mean, you're playing a deck that runs multiple Saryujas, and Sphere Mode, and Magical Mallet. Tribute summon Sphere Mode. Send yourself. Pass. Okay, okay, so let's remind ourselves what Sphere Mode does. This is the only card we have here. Requires 3 tributes from either side, then shift control during the end phase. It can't attack. Your opponent can't target it for attacks or card effects. Okay, they can't target it, but they can, like, Mirror Jade it or something. Alright, looks like we're playing against the bot here. End phase. Okay, so the joke here is that they don't have a way to out Sphere Mode. Yeah. I'm locked in, boy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for another successful Table 500. If you want to take part, check the description, submit your replays. It's down below. Check out today's sponsor, and we will see you next month's Table 500.